It's very bright in here. This is the third time recording this. Deep breath. I talk with friends and they are excited about games, and one that my friend was talking about, Everdell, and I was like, yeah, I've got it, let's play it. So let's talk about Everdell. This is second play, thanks for coming. We got into a games night and I said, well, we've been talking about Everdell so much, so let's get it out. Everdell is where you play different animals that live in a forest around the Ever tree. And throughout the game, you're going to place your workers of your town before the next winter comes. And the person with the most victory points, as usual, wins. You have two actions on your turn, and one is place one of your workers, and you start with two.
They're my ones. You can have the other ones. Look, these are the other ones. Or you can have those ones, and I'll choose one of these ones. Which one should I be?
Or play a card out of your hand. There's a third. The third one's like gain all of your workers back, end the season. It's not really an action, it's just you can't do any of your other two. The first round felt very slow, and that's because, you know, the first time you play it, you're very limited for options, you can't do very much. But you're setting yourself up for spring and then autumn, or summer and then autumn, then spring, or spring and then autumn and then summer, winter, autumn, winter.
That you do.
You're setting yourself up for spring and then summer and then autumn, and throughout that you're going to gain more workers to be able to play more people, play more actions, get more cards. This is a phenomenal game. The components within it are, there's four.
Fairy
What are these, Bella?
crystals.
And what does this look like?
Wood.
And with those resources you will pay for cards, either construction or critters, into your town. You can have 15 as a maximum in your town. There's so many locations, so there's basic locations along the river, and then there are forest locations, and they change each game because they're cards that you pull out. The game's great in terms of all of the choices that you have to place your workers. You never put in a position where you are forced into a bad choice. It's just a different choice, and it may not be the one that you want. It's still progressing the game forward and progressing your town forward. The game's really good in terms of you play cards, if you play constructions, the critters that work in that construction, you can actually play for free by putting a...
What do these look like?
Little bunny doors.
Little bunny doors.
a occupied token down. So it's really cool. Well, I'll wait and I'll hold on to my mine, and then I get my miner for free. Or you play the castle, and then it means you can get the king or the queen later. Or you play a farm and you can get the wife or the husband later for free. This changes things in terms of you don't just have to get resources every time. It's so good in terms of how that works. For a little bit during the game, you have to check on what other people are doing, because locations will be taken up by the workers, and not until they move to the next season will they draw those workers back, giving you the option of putting your workers in those locations. There's a card that you can play, the Fool, that you actually put into someone else's town, and it gives them negative points and it takes up the space. As long as you've got the fairgrounds in your town and you're holding on to the Fool, at some point someone might have 14 cards down, and you play the Fool as their 15th to fill their town out, gives them -2 points, and they can't play their master plan card at the end, like the School, which gives you bonus points for every common critter you have. The cards and how they all interact and work together are just absolutely great. Get around Everdell. Thanks for coming. Stay amazing.